Okay, so I'm going to show you a demo of Citrix in action. The problem to solve is that we've got some new features to build on a tool that I'm building called, Max Screen Cap at this stage, screen recording. So what's happening here is that Claude Code is working through a story. And what's happening is that it's going to jump around annoyingly. But what's been happening is that it came up with definitions of what to do, and I can show you what those look like here. So here, whoops, let's see if I can get this right. Nope, I can't. Let me just retry it just in the right place. So here we have, get me out of the way as well. Come on, I can hide over there, and I'll make myself smaller. Boo, there we go. So I'm sitting here, and now we have a bunch of features that I'm building. And what I've been doing here is that I've got, what's been happening is that we have a story such as never lose a recording, or I think right now actually, did it just finish? Let me just check. I think story 5 just finished. If we can just have a look at that one. Import, okay, yeah, that's just been finished. So, so we have the problem to solve, and then the technical design for it, including components. And this is a good example. So there was so this full loop was I researched pain points on the web, and one of the complaints about screen recording was that they weren't very reliable and they were dropping frames. And so one of the features that I'm adding to this is this ability to reliably record screen frames. And so it has this buffer and it does these things. Honestly, all I remember is that it needs some resilience. So so that's the tech design, and these are the tasks. And so what's happened is there's been this little negotiation where first of all, Claude Code followed instructions to create some tasks to do things. And then what happened is that when it built it and went through and then came back and it said, oh, actually, that's not good enough. You need to do more, because, if you're going to have something in your test strategy here, which is these pieces like here, if you're going to do that, then you need to make sure that those things are actually addressed by the tasks. And so one of the types of tasks you have is tests, test unit, end-to-end, and unit, so an integration. So what's happened here is that we've got these this kind of little negotiation that keeps happening when you're using Citrix with Claude Code. So now we have, let's see if I can jump over to here now. Whoops, bigger, and then up. Okay, so now we have what's been happening is that it's churning through, and you can see the history here that it's gone through, and it keeps saying not good enough. I'll just make myself a bit smaller here. So provide assessment of these quality aspects. Okay, cool. And needed to provide some evidence. And this is a pretty standard thing that happens, is that you ask Claude Code, you have a conversation, which is what I did. I said, I want to be able to do this thing. I want to have better resilience, because that's one of the characteristics that's important for the product. And it's like, okay, that's fine. Here are some aspects that none of the other products on the market do. Let's do those things. So that conversation turned into stories, and those stories then turn into implementation. And so you'll see, I think if I can, there's an awful lot being done by Claude Code here. Let's see. That's right. Let's see if we can go back here. It all came from, let's go right back so you can see. Lots and lots and lots and lots and lots. Do we hit the end? Let's see if I can find it. Okay, so complete. So it's cannot complete this task. Promises coverage from a team. Yeah, a test strategy promises coverage from the team never delivers. Worse than no strategy. Creates false confidence. You have to do it. So I have to add some new tasks. That's where that came from. And then so I added those, and it kept going through it, and then implementing those tasks and making sure they pass. So I did all of that, and then ran the tests, and there were some failures, and it fixed the failures. Oh, the end-to-end, look at this. End-to-end test revealed an issue. A 1.83 second gap in the recording. The CFR enforcer only fills gaps when a new frame arrives. It can't fill trailing gaps. Let me increase the recording duration and adjust the test. So this is stuff that comes out because Citrix is putting rules in place saying you must have these things, and you must have these quality gates in place. Okay, and so it's going through this loop. Oh, what? This is only 70. So it's feet. So what happens is that the agent by default wants to run off and just finish stuff. But what you can see here is that Citrix is providing checkpoints and barriers to say no. And it's like a wall that it bounces off. Boom. No, you can't do that. And that allows it and bounces it back. Okay, the problem is clear. It's event-driven and delivers frames only when screen content changes, and so on and so on. So it's going, that's the wrong kind of test, and it works through, and you can see more stuff. So it's trying to update the tasks, and you can see that actually these tasks were being updated in real time. They've all been marked as done. So this is marked as complete. So, and there's even evidence. So you can see all of the stuff that's been done, and there's also evidence for individual tasks as well. That's what the scales are, what files are changed, and the rationale and such like. So that's all there that you can look at if you really want to. Let's go back to Claude Code, where I spend most of my time. And then it's got all this some learnings as well, because each time when you're working with Citrix, it creates little mini retrospectives, things that we should have done to avoid in future, and that then improves on that next time round. Okay, and now it's completed the tasks and working through it all, and it's like, okay, we're done. No, it's not done. No, you have not finished. What else is missing? Oh, well, okay. Well, what else do we do? We need some extra stuff, like you need to make sure that we have some additional tests. You need implementation of unit tests for this validation test. It's already done, but it needs to be connected. So this is where it's making sure that Citrix knows about stuff that it had done, and in some cases the work didn't exist. As you can see, there was more work that needed to be done. The integration tests had not been done. So Citrix is keeping the agent honest about what is. They all pass now. Complete both tasks, trying to complete them, and that's looking good. Oh, no, not quite. Cannot transition directly from in progress to done. It must pass through QA. And QA does an additional final check, and then off we go. And finally, it's complete. All right. Import recordings. What was built? Test results file change. And so that's a good example of in progress app using Citrix, where I'm pulling up the quality of the outcome from Claude Code by using the Citrix backlog as a reference point. So here we go. So again, PRD for this particular task, and then we've got all the other stories. So let's just see what the other ones are like. So we've got these other ones to do as well. And so this was triggered by simply saying, okay, do 5. That's how I triggered to do story 5. And I'm going to now do the same with 6 and 7. And it'll just work. I don't need to think about it because all the conversations already happened. Thanks for watching.